So the thing about approaching retirement, I've never done it before, so I'm learning a lot. And one of the things I'm noticing is it seems natural just to review my life, review my career, and the things I've done, the people I've known, and so on and so forth. So, I usually, every Sunday, have an original talk. However, I've got a stack of transcripts this deep after 30 years of doing what I do. So, I have decided, since I have a lot going on in my life at the moment, to give you the best of best. My opinion, of course. Years ago, I did a series on love, and this is the month of February, right? The love month. I did a series about love. So I'm going to share that with you today. I have done many, many weddings, okay? And there's something about a wedding, I'm more nervous than the bride and the groom. There is so much expectation and planning and money that goes into having the perfect dream wedding, right? So I'm going to share with you 2 weddings I did. The first wedding was at a country club overlooking the Potomac River. It was a beautiful, beautiful setting, beautiful wedding. This couple, the woman was from England, and her family had come from England to be at her wedding. And my church was in Fairfax, which is outside Washington, D.C. So, there comes the part in the ceremony when you say, repeat after me. I, so-and-so, take so-and-so to be so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Got through the groom part just fine. And then I turned to the bride, and I said, repeat after me. And she said, okay. I, so-and-so, take you, so-and-so, take you, so-and-so. And I will be your lawfully wedded husband. And she said, I will be your lawfully wedded husband. Oh, Lord. And I give you this ring as a token of my love. I give you this ring. And all of a sudden it was like a playback in my head. And I went, oops. And I looked up at the people and they were going. I looked over at the bridesmaid and one of them says, yeah, we caught it. I thought, what do I do now? What do I do now? So I said, do I do it over? No. So then I just looked at the bride and I said, well, that took, but you're going to be his wife, not his husband. And then we just kind of went on. She didn't know that she was in the zone, you know. She didn't know what she had said, and apparently I didn't either. But anyway, there's that experience. Then, this is another wedding. Now, this couple were already married. They had signed the papers 6 months earlier. But their families were coming together in Shawnee, Tennessee, up in the mountains. And so they decided they would have a ceremony. So I got to be the minister for them at this little country church way up in the mountains. That was a beautiful wedding. It went without a hitch. But I'm standing in front of the church as people are leaving and they're stopping to say something. And this little old man, not to do a stereotype, but he came up to me and he shook his finger right in my face. And he said, "You're going to hell." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "That woman already has a husband and that man already has a wife." And I knew that they were both divorced, but apparently he didn't believe in divorce. And so there's a line in the wedding that there are only three things that are required for a legal wedding. Do you, and I now pronounce you. Anything else is just whatever you want. So the line is, and in the name of the Holy Spirit that performs every true marriage, I now pronounce you husband and wife. So he didn't let up on that either. He says, and to do it in the name of the Holy Spirit. How blasphemous of you. And you're going straight to hell. And I said, well, you're entitled to your opinion. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. And I stood there for a minute, and I said, sir, you do not have the power to send me to hell. Only I can do that. And that is true. Nobody can send you to hell. Only you can do that. And hell is a state of consciousness. It's not a place. And it can happen right here and now. You don't have to die to go to hell. Most people who are in hell wish they could die. So, had I been really offended, had I been angry, had I been insulted, I would have skirted the gates of hell. I definitely would have. But instead I was like, wow. Wow. Another human experience. Do you know, I've often wondered why it is that in life we have a parallel universe over here, the way things should be. In the parallel world, Donna never misses a beat. Every word that comes out of her mouth is gospel truth, and it's exactly perfect, and everything is perfect, but that's not the world we live in. But somehow we carry this around in our minds subconsciously, that what is happening should not be happening, and in the world, the parallel world, why can't I live in the parallel world? Well, how does this start? Well, I'm a psychologist, and this is how it starts. It starts from the day we are born into this human experience. Here we are in our mother, all connected, one. Everything is just kind of like this in my mind. And then we're born. And then we're born. And at first, everything is awesome. Wow, where am I? And people are oohing and ahhing and loving. And we're laying in our crib. And it's about, I don't know, we're several days old now. And we're hungry. Try to let somebody know I'm hungry. But mother doesn't come. Mother doesn't come. Dad doesn't come. Brother, sister doesn't come. Nobody comes. And unconsciously, because when we're infants, we're very self-centered. It's all about us. So we're saying, why aren't they coming? Why aren't they coming? Something must be wrong with me. That's the beginning of separation, right there. Something must be wrong with me. So then we start to cope. All right, I'm screaming, but that doesn't get any results. I know, I'll just kick the slats of the crib. Bam, 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 bam. Nobody comes, except mother eventually comes. And then there's a punishment, right? the punishment. You kick that bed one more time and I'm going to blah, 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 whatever our parents say. And then subconsciously, all this is subconscious, we get the notion that it's bad to have a need. You know, this wouldn't be happening if I didn't have a wet diaper. This wouldn't be happening if I weren't hungry. And so we begin to suppress our needs. Now, this is something I know from my own life in review and not just my career. It's bad to have a need. Nobody wants to be around a needy person. We want to be around people who don't have any needs, because then we feel safe. We might not be asked to fulfill a need. Oh, what a trip, huh? What a human trip this is. So, how do we know our oneness if we can't share our needs? People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Sound like a song? Yes. This is how we separate and how we learn to not love ourselves just the way we are. Self-love is the most important love you will ever have. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, if you don't really know what I'm talking about, then it's very difficult to connect with other people. Very, very difficult. And we live lives of quiet desperation. Sound like a point? Quiet desperation. And we learn to mask our needs. We learn what's socially correct. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. You're fine. We're all fine. Aren't we all fine? Everything's fine. We don't live authentically. And the most important thing is we abandon ourselves and we negate what is happening. What is happening now. Even if what's happening now, we have to be authentically with it. We have to say, okay, this sucks. I hurt. I wish things were different, but they're not. And I have needs, and needs are okay. Needs are part of the human experience. It's how we come together. Okay, back in the day, when I first did this talk, I came up with a AAA program. AAA is what I call it. Of how to be in alignment with yourself. Accept yourself and love yourself. Number one, you have to be aware of what your needs are. And I'll tell you, there was a whole part of my life when somebody said, what are your needs? Oh, I don't have any needs. I don't have any needs. I thought I was self-contained. I don't know why you're here. I have no needs, you know. Until I realized how I had abandoned my true self. And I'm talking spirituality here, not my ego self, my true self. That was a very painful experience in my life, and it was huge. It was the birthing of my true spiritual awareness, not just my intellectual reasoning of the principles. No, this was when I stepped into being one with spirit, is when I learned to love myself. First A, awareness. Become aware of what your needs are. People all need to be loved and to be respected. And I just saw Avatar on Friday. I see you. I see the real you. despite your despicable behavior. That takes practice, trust me, because we are human beings. Become aware of what our needs are and honor those needs. Learn to share what they are. Own them. Own them. The second thing is accept them. We're not perfect. There is no parallel world over here. The only place we find spirit is in this world. Right here, right now. So accept yourself and accept other people. Well, gee, I wish he was a little more pleasant to be around. But he's not. And you know the choice is yes, no, and I gotta go. Simple. Simple. And then the third A is always, always, always love. Come from a place of love. And that requires forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself when you say husband when it should have been wife. Forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of other people. So I want to go back to the first wedding where I did say to the bride, I pledge my life to you as your husband. And I said that. Now there are two places I could come from. One is the judge. The judge. Boy, how unconscious can you be? The judge, we set up the judge very early in the childhood because we want to be in the parallel world. We want to be perfect. We want to be loved. And we think our needs aren't being met because something's wrong with us. So we set up a judge in our unconscious mind that monitors everything we see, everything we do. Good little Donna, bad little Donna. This is unconscious. So, always, always love. Forgive yourself. Forgive other people. Forgive other people. And forgiveness is an act of compassion because we understand that everybody has their challenges. Oh boy, do they? Do I? Yes, challenges. Compassion. Next Sunday, I want to talk about compassion. And what is that really? So I could come back to the wedding. I could have come from a place of the judge, sitting up here, putting me in a state of hell. Or I could come from my Christ consciousness and just say, wow, isn't life grand? You just never know what's going to happen next. And go with the flow. Just go with the flow. And never allow yourself to move from that place of love. Unconditional love, to me, means under no conditions will I cease to love. Because that is what I am. I think that's it, guys.